For centuries, humanity has battled an unseen foe, drifting on the breeze, creeping into our homes, and slowly affecting the very air we breathe. But fear not, my friends, because today we're not talking about some giant expensive air purifier that sounds like a jet engine warming up in your living room. We're talking about a small square of genius. It's tiny. It's hypervigilant. It's a dust detecting ninja that whispers the secrets of your air quality directly to your microcontroller. It's the reason your next smart thermostat will actually know when you've burnt toast, or as we like to call it, accidentally achieved high-level particulate matter concentration. Hi, I'm Amelia Dalton, host of Chalk Talk. In this episode of Chalk Talk, Liaisan Khismatova from Bosch Sensortec and I explore the benefits of the Bosch BMV080, the world's smallest particulate matter sensor. We also investigate the fanless innovation at the heart of this solution and how the silent and maintenance-free operation and ultra-compact size of this sensor makes it a game changer for the next generation of air quality monitoring applications. And before we get started, don't forget to click that link. There you can find even more information about this topic from Bosch Sensortec. Hi, Lisan. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, Amelia. I'm really glad to be here and excited to talk with you today.
Excellent. Okay, so we're talking about the BMV080, the world's smallest particulate matter sensor. But before we dig into the details, let's talk about particulate matter and its impact on our health.
Yes, sure. Let's talk about something we can't see, but that affects every breath we take, particulate matter, or PM. I will call it PM, and that I think will be easier to understand and to speak about. So PM, it's one of the key indicators of air pollution. And actually, this PM consists of tiny particles suspended in the air. If you look at the image on the left, you can see how tiny these are compared to human hair or grain of sand. So small that they are invisible. And the larger ones, called PM10, which are diameter of 10 microns or less, affecting the upper airways, and they're linked to respiratory diseases. But even smaller particles, PM2.5 with the diameter of 2.5 microns or less, and PM1, which is 1 microns or less, can penetrate deeper into your bloodstream, increasing the risk of cardiovascular problems. And actually, this air pollution and especially particulate matter is expected to worsen worldwide. And that's why clean air isn't just an environmental issue, but it's a fundamental need for our health and well-being.
Absolutely. Okay, so what do you think we're missing in today's air quality monitoring?
What's missing is a real awareness. To protect ourselves, we first need to know what's in the air we actually breathe. And governments already help us to know it, placing the air quality monitors at some different locations in the cities. For example, on the image on the left, you see that the PM mass concentration is changing during the day at the different locations. However, here's the challenge comes. The official air quality index, or AQI, only gives us a general picture of the air across a city. In reality, air quality can vary dramatically, even within just a few kilometers. And what about the air indoors, where we spend most of our time? This data is still largely inaccessible to individuals. And here us, Bosch, providing the solution which enables always by your side air quality monitoring for everyday life. Informative, accessible, unobtrusive. That is our BMV080 sensor.
Excellent. Okay, so talk to me more about this sensor.
Here it is, this tiny PM sensor, which is 450 times smaller than other state-of-the-art sensors. and the size of 4.4 by 3 by 3 cubic millimeters. So without this flexible PCB, but actually this flexible PCB is bendable. Even though with the flex PCB, the length is about 20 millimeters, you can easily bend it and it's still very, very tiny.
So, Lisan, walk me through how this solution works.
Yes, my pleasure. The core innovation of the BMV080 lies in its sensing mechanism. Unlike traditional particulate matter sensor that rely on built-in fans to draw air into a measurement chamber, the BMV080 uses natural convection. So as particles move through the environment, they scatter light emitted by the sensor's triple axis VCSEL system. You can see that on the image. And the system captures backscattered light from an individual particles, measuring velocities via Doppler shift. Of course, there is the big role of our own developed algorithms, developed by Bosch algorithms, using particles counts, velocity, and air volume. And using this, we provide precise PM mass concentration. Importantly, these measurements are not affected by ambient light, including sunlight, light bulbs, or other external light sources.
What kind of results are you seeing from this solution?
The unique and new technologies brings a lot of questions and concerns on the performance. And of course, we have done many field tests, and I want to share some of the results, highlighting how well our sensor works. Here you can see the one of the tests performed in the family apartment of 5 people during the normal activities of the people during the day. As a reference setup, the Palace AQ guard was used. You could see how well the BMV080 sensors, in this case, it was 3 sensors, were tracking PM2.5 mass concentration in alignment with Palace. And sensor to sensor variation is very, very little. So same can be said for the other test where it was performed outdoor in Stuttgart during 11 days. And in comparison to the Palace FIDAS 200S, which is actually officially used air quality monitor setup, Baden-Württemberg state, where is the Bosch Sensortec located. And you could see that the sensors to sensor variation, again, is very little. And the performance of this tracking of the Palace behavior is incredibly well. And to note, both of these Palace devices are professional devices. They're big and with the high resolution, of course, and minimum particle diameters are smaller. But it's just incredible to see how our tiny sensor can reliably provide measurements with the tracking behavior of such devices and having such a little sensor to sensor variation.
That's really cool. Okay, so let's take a look at the key features and benefits of this solution.
Sure. Of course, good performance is always a baseline for the sensors, right? So it provides the precise, rapid, and real-time measurements for PM1, PM2.5, and PM10 mass concentration, enabling IoT devices to deliver fast and reliable air quality data, such as air quality index based on different breakpoints according to the different standards.
How does the BMV080 compare with other solutions on the market today?
As I mentioned, due to its unique principle working without a fan, BMV080 offers features differing it from the other state-of-the-art sensors and bringing the benefits to the different use cases and applications. One of these features of our sensor is the compact size. I mentioned already how tiny it is, and it can be easily integrated into ultra compact devices like air quality monitors, smart thermostats, or even wearable gadgets. Despite its small footprint, it operates completely silently, measuring air quality without disturbing sleep, work, or other noise sensitive environments. Another important advantage is the potential for fully sealed designs. Because our sensor doesn't rely on air vents or moving part, it can be designed to be waterproof and dustproof, which is a benefit for so many devices. And of course, there is no fan, meaning there is no dust buildup and no degradation performance over time. Moreover, no maintenance is needed as there are no moving parts to serve. This makes it highly reliable and no maintenance for long-term use. So in summary, our sensor combines precision, reliability, compact size, silence, and robustness, and it empowers IoT devices to deliver actionable air quality data across industry while being easy to integrate and maintain.
What kind of use cases are we talking about here?
So, as I mentioned before, the main motivation was to make an air quality monitoring more accessible, compact, portable, and unobtrusive. In essence, we are moving beyond just improving air quality monitoring. We are expanding from personal well being into the new use cases that enhance everyday life. For example, aerosol and vape detection. In public spaces such as schools, offices, or transportation hubs, maintaining healthy air and regulatory compliance is vital. The BMV080 is a good match as it can detect that the sensor is blocked on purpose, and it also offers flexible sensor configuration that reduce power consumption. One more established use cases where PM sensor are uses, but where our sensor also can bring some benefits is the smart fan speed control. By integrating this sensor, ventilation system can automatically adjust airflow based on air quality, saving energy, reducing noise. And here the BMV080 bringing the benefit of the dustproof and waterproof design support that can operate even in remote or hard to maintain environments.
Excellent. Okay, so Lisan, can you also talk about some potential applications as well? Where would you find this sensor out in the wild?
Sure, I can mention the applications that are adapting our sensors, such as air quality monitors, both for personal or residential use and for industrial environments, smart thermostat, wave detectors, and smart air purifiers. So, talking about the air quality monitors and silent operation of the BMV080, enabling discrete and tamper-proof and non-intrusive devices for noise-sensitive environments. Moving to the smart thermostats, we can say that because of the ultra-compact size, the BMV080 is good match for the smart thermostat because it's enabling ultra-compact IoT devices. About the wave detectors, I mentioned something in this section of the use cases. The sensor provides discrete and quiet detection, and its obstruction detection feature can identify attempts to block or tamper with the sensor, improving reliability in public or controlled environments. And finally, in smart air purifiers, the BMV080 support maintenance-free operation, ensuring long-term, dependable performance even in dusty, remote, or hard-to-maintain conditions. Overall, the BMV080 enables application that previously couldn't broadly adopt particulate matter sensing, opening up new opportunities across consumer, industrial, and IoT markets.
So, when it comes to commercial and residential buildings, how does this solution perform?
Some of the target application requires for the end product to be certified when used in residential and commercial buildings. For example, smart thermostats. For making the life of our customers easier, we also did some tests to ensure for our customer that they can use our sensor in their end device without the fear for future reset certification. We continuously measured for 14 days the PM 2.5 concentration according the reset air grade B guidelines. And you could see on the graph that we are within the limits of reset requirements. For well standard, our customers also ensure that their device works well as our specification is aligned with the well requirements. Thus, BMV080's design and output are consistent with the required performance for reset and well standard if the customer needs a future certification for their end device.
What would you like my audience to take away from today's Chalk Talk?
So, what I would like to is that this tiny fanless device, just 4.4 by 3 millimeters, is designed for seamless integration into compact products from wearables to home air monitors. It measures particulate matter concentration with high precision, detecting particles with a resolution 1 micrograms per cubic meter Despite its performance, it's energy efficient. We provide different modes from continuous to duty cycling, and in some of the cases, it's consuming as little as 0.6 milliwatts when taking one measurement per hour. Ideal for battery-powered applications, because in some application and use cases, you don't really have to measure every second. We provide an interfaces like I2C and SPI, and with API, which is compatible to common platforms such as ARM Cortex, Espressif32, and Raspberry Pi, making it highly flexible for developers. And of course, safety is built in. It uses a class 1 laser, completely safe for users. In short, the BMV080 brings precise, low power, and reliable air quality sensing right to the individual level in the tiny package to make it accessible to individuals.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's all I have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate your time.
And before we go, you didn't forget to click that link, did you? There you can find even more information about this topic from Bosch Sensortec. For Chalk Talks, I'm Amelia Dalton from eejournal.com. For more Chalk Talks, head on over to the Chalk Talk section of EE Journal. You can't miss it, it's right across the top. Or head on over to YouTube, youtube.com/EE Journal.